Hey friends, in this video we're going to look at the inner workings of one of these mechanical turntables. So this is a Sony PS2700. In the last video, or next video, whichever order these loaded in, or whichever order you're watching them in, we talked about the turntable's belt. This is a belt drive. And the belt drive, what we found out, well, I'll just let you watch the other. You can watch the other video. Does belt size matter? And does size matter? That's funny. All right. Anyways, so I wanted to talk about the inner workings of what you would see in one of these, as far as how, you know, this looks intimidating somewhat, but let's talk about what's going on here. So in here you have a gear, a cog with a lobe on it, and this lobe is built to actually catch this over here. It's designed to catch that. But it's also designed to float over this gear right here. So you'll see that this gear has a little bit of a cutout right in here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pull you in really close if I can. Oh, come on. Don't be shy. Let's go. I hope that got you a little bit closer. Here, maybe even now. Here, let's lower it. There. Maybe. I hope that helps. Okay. So what we were talking about is the design of this lobe right in here, or this catch. And it's designed to where it floats above this. Okay, so it's not going to hit this. Now, if it's too low, then it will hit it. And part of the problem with it being too low, or part of the fix of it being too low, is on another video, previous video, where we actually take this spindle out and put some spacers in there. Okay. And you might be able to find the part that's not actually a makeshift spacer. If you can, congratulations, good job. Put it in the notes where to find that, because I'll be looking for them too, because I love the 2700s. I buy them whenever I can get a chance to. All right, so this floats above this gear right here, and it's built to catch on this gear right here. Now let's see what happens when we hit the start button. It's going to move this white one into position to catch on that cog. So this is going to move like so, and it's going to position itself. Now if this is setting right, it'll just position itself here and play. Okay, and then this right here, this mechanism right here, when you hit that stop button, you'll see it moves that into position, and the next time this cycles around, it catches it and lines the gears up so that they move again. And then it will go back into, and you'll see that this little trigger right here pushes that back, and then there. So these things float, and because they float, it's really, really super critical that the turntable be on a very flat surface. Now, flat surface, let's talk flat surface. All right, how do you know if you're actually on a flat surface? Well, the best way to do that is to get one of these weights. And now the thing about turntables that one must recognize, right? If you have a servo-driven or you know, not belt-driven. If it's not belt-driven, then it's probably going to lay fairly level, this plate, with the base. Okay. Now, if you have one that the plinth, this piece here, the frame, is separate than the base, and then this is a belt-driven, you've got lots of things operating here that can really adjust the actual line, how this is lined up. Now, if you look here, when I spin this, that dot stays the same. So that tells me that this is staying steady. And I can tell you just from looking at this that I'm a tad over here and here. So if I was going to be playing this, I would want to make sure that that little air bubble is right in the smack center of this. And the reason is, going back to our cogs and gear workings here, is that as the music is playing and things are vibrating in here, which there's not a lot of vibration, these are pretty good units, it's going to kind of work its way down, and then in the middle of the record, all of a sudden, you're going to catch, and it's going to be into record, right? But wait, we were in the middle of a song, so what happened? Well, what happened was it loosened down. Now, there are some things that you can do about that, right? One of those things that you can do about it is to go and get some of this 100K. I usually use 80K. I have some over there just buried. This is on top. The 100K lubricant is purchasable. You can buy it at any hobby store that does remote controlled cars, because this is what they use for the shocks in the remote control cars. And it's used here. This is where I use it primarily. But when I have one of these players, generally, when I'm done and I'm ready to wrap it up and send it, I'm gonna put some of this on these parts because it slows their movement down. They still move freely because it's a lubricant, but they will only move on purpose. Now see how easy these are to just like accidentally jog? Okay, so it's not going to do it now, but they are pretty easy to just jog and get into the wrong position to where it's like, man, I didn't want it to do that, okay? Okay, so that's how these inner workings work. Of course, the belt is hooked to the plate, and the plate is hooked to this, or resting on it, and the friction between the plate and here are going to hold the plate and this in position and steady, and they're going to move each other, and that's how all of these gears interact. In the next video, we're going to talk about how the auto return functions, and that's a whole different ball of wax because it's different for every turntable. So this 2700 has a fairly common setup, but yeah, I'll let you be the judge. Maybe yours is like it, maybe it's not. Thanks for watching. Have a good evening, day, morning, whatever time of day it is where you are. Yeah, be good.